Almost 1,200 miles long, the Dakota Access Pipeline carries crude oil from the north-central US to refineries in Iowa and Illinois. Owned by Energy Transfer Partners, it is the 9th pipeline to be built through Lake Oahe. The local Sioux tribe, Standing Rock, has opposed the construction of all these pipelines.
And my son is buried across from that pipeline right now. And my daughter raises his 2 sons. And my father and my aunts and my cousins are all buried on that hill. And my mind, I thought, who would build a pipeline next to my son's grave? Over my dead body. And oh, by the way, I'm still fighting.
Standing Rock Tribe has 2 principal arguments. One, the construction of this pipeline is going to damage ancestral sites of theirs. And 2, if the pipeline is built and it goes under the Missouri River, that it is going to, if it were to leak, potentially contaminate their drinking water. And I wonder what your response to those concerns are.
We're on private lands. That's number one.
All of this land, this pipeline, is from the 1851 Fort Laramie Treaty, the 1868 Fort Laramie Treaty. 2 parts of this treaty, that this is Native American land, specifically the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe's land.
And number 2, there's no way there will be any crude to contaminate their water supply. They're 70 miles downstream.
Hundreds of gallons of crude oil into the river. You're telling me that's not going to quickly flow downstream because you're, quote, 70 miles downstream?
Your Permian Express pipeline in Texas was a brand new pipe. It spilled 8,000 barrels, I believe. Keystone 1, again, a very new pipeline, spilled 14 times.
This pipeline is being built to safety standards that far exceed what the government requires us to do.
The Dakota Access Pipeline leaked at least 5 times in 2017. The biggest was a 168-gallon leak near Dapple's endpoint in Pacoda, Illinois.
The pipeline was originally scheduled and slotted to go north, just north of Bismarck. And after there were concerns about endangering the water supply there, the pipeline was rerouted south next to the Standing Rock Tribe. And their belief is, why were the concerns of Bismarck residents given greater weight than the concerns that we have?
This was after great consultation with the Army Corps of Engineers, the offering up for consultation with also the Standing Rock Sioux, which they didn't choose to do.
That's nice that they had 389 meetings with 55 tribes. And I guess at the end of those 389 meetings, those 55 tribes said, keep your fucking oil pipe out of my land.
The state response to the movement was beyond brutal. In addition to tear gas and rubber bullets, armoured police and the National Guard deployed concussion grenades and water cannons in sub-freezing temperatures.
There were police officers filming this, laughing as human beings were being attacked, being maced. I mean, it was a nightmarish scene, and it should be a shame to the federal government. It should be a shame to the American people that this is happening within U.S. borders.
Yesterday it was on the ground when the forces when they came, and it's a pretty traumatic experience, to say the least. Watching elders get arrested during prayer, and seeing my brothers and sisters, these people, these beautiful people, intelligent people, non-criminals, you know, they're not violent people, they're not rapists, they're not murderers, they're not abusers, they're good people, good, strong people of our community. And hearing those cannons going off and thinking about how what's going on today, how connected it is to our entire history, to everything that we've overcome at this point, the things that we've endured up to this point. They're taking us by bus loads when they took the group I was with, there was 3 more buses lined up. There was 2 National Guards buses pulling in. And then I saw the cement barricades that they were getting ready to erect that night after they moved us. When we pulled into the sheriff's department, we was caged in dog kennels and sat on the floor, and we were marked with numbers. Where I was sitting, I could see a crack, so I could see one of the buses pull up, and just can't that whole time, the entire yesterday, I couldn't I couldn't wrap around the fact that this is happening today.
On September 2nd, the Standing Rock tribe filed additional evidence in their lawsuit of almost 30 sacred sites. The following day, their burial site was bulldozed, while private security swept in, attacking protesters.
Protesters respond using a flagpole and sticks to fend off the dog attacks.
After the protesters said that the dog was bloody from biting them, they then pulled the dogs away, and now pickup truck by pickup truck is pulling away. We'll see what happens. The protesters are moving in to ensure that the security leaves.
That was September 3rd. And for me, that's always a hard day for us, because that's the day of the Whitestone Massacre. And I was standing there thinking, is this what my grandmother went to when they shot her? My grandmother was shot at that massacre. Everybody else died. She lived. There were 3 police cars, and the policemen were standing on the road. And I know I was a little upset. So I walked over there and I said, why didn't you do something? And the policeman told me, we're only here to control the traffic in the road. And the next day, when I listened to that report from the sheriff of Martin County, he said the police were not there. They said that we attacked the dogs. Nothing about the dogs attacking us. This company came and attacked us with dogs and pepper spray. I think they were trying to provoke us into something. I have to say that I'm really proud of our people, because I've seen a lot of women crying, but I've seen people praying. I've seen people singing. I've seen people doing the best they could in that kind of situation. And yet, the papers don't talk about this. The people don't talk about this. It is, oh, those Indians are harming those dogs. And so it was really a overwhelming day, and people were just crying everywhere. It was really hard to watch that, really hard to watch them tear up that earth. Who does that? What kind of human beings do that? Who would go just to disturb a grave? My son is buried over there. Here, this is my son. And I can't allow it.
Have you spoken to Donald Trump about the pipeline?
I've never met the man.
You've never met him?
No.
But he's invested in you and you're invested in him.
Well, I wish him well.
According to his financial disclosure forms, Trump has up to $2 million invested in energy transfer partners, whose stock price jumped 15% upon his election.
Once he takes over January 20th, what are the prospects?
Oh, it's 100%.
100% that
the easement gets granted and the pipeline gets built.
Nobody thought any politician would have the guts to approve that final leg. And I just closed my eyes and said, do it.
It's not about just Standing Rock. It's about every place that's fighting right now. Fighting for the water. The water is important to everybody.